All right, so here's another example. We have the limit as x goes to 0 of sine of 3x over x. Now, this is very similar, but it is not the same. Not the same. It's not the same as this. Limit as x goes to 0 of sine of x over x. Those are not the same thing. The requirement is the argument here must match the value in the denominator. Those must match. So if we have the limit as x goes to 0 of sine of 3x over 3x, yes, then we may say that's equal to 1 because that argument and that denominator match. If they don't, then we need to fix it. You need to take this, do something to it so that it looks like this, and then apply this property and a few other limit properties. So, to make this work, we need a 3 right here. We need a 3 right here. And well, the simplest thing to do is multiply numerator and denominator by 3. So this is equal to the limit x goes to 0. This is 3 sine of 3x. 3x. Multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3. Now, this is that statement. This is the property we have so far. We know here in just a little bit that's going to be 1. What happens to this 3? That 3 is a constant multiplier, and constant multipliers multiply along. So what we can say now is when we evaluate the limit of this piece, this is 3, this is this 3 times that 1. All right? So the technique is make sure the denominator is the same as the argument for this numerator. Multiply by whatever you need to create it, and you should be good to go. All right? Now, one that's similar but not quite exactly the same thing is this. What if we have sine of x, but here you have 5x? Well, they're not the same. We need to get, no, you don't need to get 5 in here. What you need to do is make sure the denominator is the same as that. So what you can do is this. This is a constant multiplier. Probably the straightforward thing to do is this. Let me make it really, really explicit. Well, we can do this. This is 1/5 times sine of x over x. And now we do know how that behaves in the limit. We know the limit of the product is the product of the limits. And we know the limit of a constant is the constant. So the limit of this piece is 1/5. The limit of this piece is 1. They are multiplied together. That's equal to 1/5. Now I want to emphasize something. If this is part of a multiple choice question, then you don't need to show any work. You just need to get the final result and jib-jab your way through that. If this is a multiple choice question and A is 5 and B is 2 and C is 1 and D is 1/5, and what? So you would just write down D, and that's all you need. I don't need to see any work. You would do this off on scratch paper. I don't need to see that. You don't need to supply that. You don't need to take a picture of that. D is all I'm looking at there. However, and this is a big however, if this is a problem where I am asking you to show your work, this is a big deal. If this is a problem where I'm asking you to show your work, in the directions, it will say, you may only use the techniques and the methods discussed in the lessons. You may only use the methods discussed in the lessons, either on the video lessons or the Zoom meeting lessons. And so, if you're asked to show your work, you must use the methods I used. Now, for this problem, I did not use this method. I did not use this method. I did not use this method. This is the write your answer down and hope that that's good enough. I did not use that method. The method I use is demonstrating the knowledge of the properties of the limits. You need to present an argument showing all the steps that you would do. Each piece is a step of the logic. If all you do is write down a final result, I don't care that much. If it's not like I woke up this morning wondering what this limit was equal to, so I think I'll give it to my students to do on an exam. That's not what happens. I know how to do this. I'm not looking for information here. What I'm after is, do you know how to apply the logic in a correct sequence? Do you know how to apply the logic? If all you do is write down 3 and put a box around it like you're proud of it, if that's all you do, then you're not getting a whole lot of credit out of me. And you got to figure there's not a whole lot of math instructors anywhere that's going to give you a lot of credit for that. So you need to make sure and show your work, show your logic, demonstrate a solution. That's what I'm after. Demonstrate the solution, not give an answer. Those are different things. If it's multiple choice, just give me the answer. If it's work the problem out and show your work, that is demonstrate your solution. All right? So the key is make sure the argument here is the same as this denominator. Make sure the argument here is the same as this denominator. Constant multipliers, then multiply along.